All right, guys. So we want to start Linux proper today. We already explained the concept of networking, cloud, and then the place of Linux in the management of enterprise networks, and more importantly and more relevantly, cloud networks. So ideally, to teach you this course, we will not take you into cloud. We'll use some other, we'll improvise in some other ways just to delay the introduction to cloud so that you pay extra money for us to take you to cloud. But this time, I'm taking you to cloud right away. No ambiguity, no improvisation. All right, so let's go. So there are three major cloud providers. We'll talk about cloud. There are three major cloud providers. I'll not go into details. I'll go into details only with when we start the cloud class proper. But for now, out of those three, we are using the one called AWS. So to go into AWS so that you see cloud and begin to work with cloud, this is what you do. So you go to your browser and then you type your, if you are not sure of the URL of the website address, then you could go to Google. But in this case, I'm already sure, I know that the AWS cloud has this website address, AWS owned by Amazon.com. All right, so I type that and I press enter. All right.
You can't see your screen, Mr. Aregbesola.
Oh, you can't see the screen, sorry. Let me share one second. Share. All right, can you see now? Still. Can you see the screen now?
No.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter
No,
what you're
sir.
saying.
Are you seeing AWS?
No, welcome to class.
No, it's just black.
No.
Blacked out.
We are saying that welcome to class start at 6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
now I can see.
We can see now.
Oh,
we can
okay.
see now. Okay.
That's good. All right. So what I was saying is, when you go to your browser, you load your browser, you type there. If you are not sure, ask Google what is the IP, the URL for AWS. But I know. So, okay. All right. Okay. So just come here and type in the IP address. aws.amazon.com. URL, sorry, not IP address. Amazon. I didn't get that right. Amazon.com. All right. So if you press enter, this is cloud. At least this is the entrance to cloud. This is the entrance to cloud. All right. So what you want to do now in your own case is create an account with this cloud platform AWS, so you can have access to cloud, and then you will be able to practice with all of the cloud infrastructure there until you know it enough to be able to then deploy an application, which is the ultimate goal. All right. So in this case, you are completely new to cloud. That's my assumption. So we are going to create an AWS account. So you click this, create AWS account. It's free. It's free. Okay. All of this is just trying to explain, but don't worry, we'll do as much of that as we can cover in AWS proper. But this one is just Linux. We are coming in here just to be able to set up a server so that we can run and practice Linux on it. That's why we're coming to cloud. This is not the real cloud. All right, so you say create an AWS account. Did you see that? So you put in your email address. All right. In my own case, it will be akin@gmail.com. All right. And then whatever name you want to call. So this is as simple as creating an email address. If you have created an email address before, then you'll be able to do it. Let's go ahead anyway. Just Akin Aregbesola @gmail. All right. And I'm going to call this one my account name. Let's call it free trading. All right. Then if you click this, it's going to say verify email. But of course, I already have a, so you go to your email address. whatever you entered there earlier on, copy the code and paste here. And then you say verify. And then to take you through the process. 2, 3, 4 other questions, including entering a valid debit or credit card, so that in the event that you overuse your resources, yes, the account is free and access to cloud is free. However, not all services in cloud are included in the free account. So you'll be warned that this service you are going to use is not free. If you go ahead, then you'll be charged. So that's why you need to put in your debit card or your credit card. What I show you is very, very simple. All right. So just copy that, paste here, and then click verify. And it takes you to the next question. 2, 3 more questions. You are done. You are done creating a cloud account. All right. But in my own case, I already have a cloud account. I have not used it. All right. So once you have your cloud account, once you set it up completely like that, then you can come back to the beginning, AWS. Amazon.com. Of course, you can. In my own case, I already have that. And then instead of saying creating a new account, I will now say sign in. All right. So this is sign in. So I click sign in. And then it asks me, who are you? So the email address that you provided earlier on in your own case, that's what you put here. Put your email address here. And I think I do have, and I can't remember. I won't use this. Okay, so in my own case, this is my email address, I'm assuming. And then next, what's my password? No. Give me 1 second. I have different email accounts. Some are for serious business, some are for, I think this is for serious business. So let's try this. So what's that showing me? NM3D8B. Does it work? No. Okay. Give me 1 second to quickly go check which of my many AWS accounts I'll be using for this session with you. So I don't use the one that I'm using for serious business. But so far, is it clear how you would create an AWS account?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Awesome. All right. So give me 1 second. Let me just go grab my username and password, and then I'll be right back. So while that one is happening, I'm going to, what do I do here? I'm going to share the whiteboard so that you don't see my personal. Are you seeing the whiteboard now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
let
sir.
it cover your face so that you don't see. All right, so what's my document? Documents. This file. All right, so I have the file, AWS. Okay, active account will be, okay, Dean. So let's take that one, Control C. Then sign in as a different user. So Control V, and then what's my password for?
I think we can see your screen.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, I'll come back.
Okay.
Let's see. Then I go back here. Let me try this. Hopefully this works. Control C. All right, so let's see. Let me share the screen now. Okay, so I have my password. So I paste my password. Am I allowed? Oh, awesome. All right, so what I did was to go to the place where I keep my username and passwords, I copied one of the accounts and then I pasted there and then I supplied the password. So I'm inside cloud now. All right, service menu, you can allow, this is for especially newcomers like you, can just read this. The more you read and the more you understand, the more you get used to cloud. All right, so this is cloud, as in specifically AWS cloud. Like I said, we are not here for cloud. This is not cloud class. The reason we are here is to set up a server and put Linux there so that we can start to practice Linux command. So let's go ahead and do that right here. As for people taking cloud on starting cloud next week, we'll go through all of these services together, one by one. All right, so how do you set up a service, a server in cloud? To set up a server is very simple. So in this case, I just come here to EC2. All right, do I have any instance running? No, I don't have. Instance is the name that cloud call, specifically AWS calls server. All right, so we are in cloud now, so we begin to use the right terminology. So I don't have any server running, no instance. So I come here and I say launch instance. Can you see my screen? Can you see launch instance?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Launch instance.
Yes, please.
And then it says, oh, fine, I would launch a server for you. What name do you want to call this? Let's call it practice server. Practice. All right. And then we scroll down. What's the next question to answer? What operating system amongst these many different kinds of operating systems? Somebody was asking about Red Hat and all of that. Which of them do you want to use? All right, for now, let's just use Amazon Linux. All right, because we're in Amazon territory. And then let us set up one of the many servers that falls in the free tier eligible category. If I take anyone that does not have free tier in front of it, I'll be paying for that service. So I take this one, and then what else do I answer? I scroll down. Is this kind of system instance enough for me? Is free tier? Yeah, it's okay. What about key pair? I'll say here, create a new key pair. Again, we're not going into details, but even if I don't do that, no problem. And then call the key pair. What's your class? Free class, free trim, free one. All right. And then I say create key pair. I will explain the meaning of key pair, why you need to create that. But it's too early, it's too advanced right now. All right, and then I say allow SSA. I just leave whatever is there. I don't change. In fact, apart from entering the name at the beginning, I really have not changed anything since. I'm just going with the default. All right, the only other thing that I entered here was to give a name to the key pair that will be created for me. So don't bother about trying to understand everything. Just go on with default, default, default. All right, and then say launch instance. So this one will create a server for you. A server has been launched. And simultaneously, an operating system, specifically Linux operating system, Amazon version. Amazon is very big. In fact, it's about the biggest company in the world after Apple. So it's big enough to own its own Linux version, like I was telling you the other day, that I can modify it and call one Akin Linux. All right, so now we do have a Linux system in cloud. For somebody, this is all you need to go get a job, because they'll ask you, can you spin up a server in cloud? Yes, but like I always say, it's just the beginning. All right. So that is it. So let's go to our instance now. Let's look for our instance that just told us our instance has been created. All right. Then we can go straight to the instance by clicking that. All right. This is our server. This is our instance. The instance is called practice. And these are the parameters, the credentials of the instance. Again, this is a bit advanced right now. Nothing cloud. All right. So, but back to the instance, we'll go up there. And then we take this instance. This is it. It's running. So we have a server running in cloud. And this server is running, what operating system is it running? Amazon Linux.
Amazon Linux.
Amazon Linux. So we're ready to start practicing. So let's go into this interface and start to use Linux and start to practice Linux. All right, so to do that, we say connect. There are different ways to connect. Again, that's a bit advanced, don't worry about it. But simply click connect here. And then when it brings you to this window, you say EC2 instance connect, leave it there. and simply say connect. All right, welcome. This is Linux. This is the interface. This is what we are going to do. All right, so what do you do? What do we do now that we are here? That's what we'll be learning. What do we do here? What are the commands? What are the Linux commands?
Sudo su.
Sorry?
If you want
Somebody already knows Linux. So no,
Sudo
I wasn't asking you actually. I was just saying.
Hi, Mr. King. Can you do a recap? Because I haven't been able to get in.
Me too. I haven't been able to get it. So I need the recap.
Yeah, will be video.
The video is there for you to
watch
watch.
the video later.
Now pay your
Watch the
That's why we
video
have
later.
that's why we have the video, guys. If we
Yeah,
do
video
recap for
will be there
everybody,
start live.
you not let me teach you what I want to teach. All right.
Yes, yes.
All right. All right. So how we got here. This is the CLI, command line interface for Linux operating system. All right. All right. Even though I cannot recap everything, let me just go back a few steps so that I show you how we got here. Let's minimize this. And then let's leave there. All right, then so after we launched our instance, this was what we had. All right, to go into this is just the outer part of cloud telling you I have done this. To go inside now, to go into the system, you click the system that was created for you. All right, having clicked it, it brings you here. All right, so now that you are here, the name of the instance is practice. So you take that practice, look at it, you click it, that, and then you click this. All right, and then you now say connect to this instance. I want to connect to this computer. That's basically what it is. So you click that, you select that, and you say connect. There are different ways to connect to your instance. All right, so the one we are going to use right here. Please mute yourself. So the one we are going to use right here is the EC2 instance connect. So we take that which is already selected, then we go down and we say connect. It is the connection that brings us to the inside of the computer. And this is the command line interface, otherwise called CLI, from where we can now interact with the server using Linux commands. So this is where we are. So the simplest command to do here is clear. Clear means remove everything on screen and, okay, no need to talk to me. So if I say clear, see what happened? It cleared the whole screen. So clear is a command. All right. So this one is telling you that you are logged in as EC2 user. We'll know what that is when we get to cloud. And then this is the IP address of the system. You don't know what IP address is. Don't worry, you know. But for now, let's just start with the basics. All right. So now that we are here, this is Linux. And why are you learning Linux? Linux is the language that you will use. You need to manage, administer. Another word for manage is administer. Servers. So we just pinned up a simple server now. We're going to learn to administer it, to manage it, create user accounts, create directory, create files, and so on. A lot of things you can do. All right. All right. If there are no questions, now let's start to learn Linux commands. Any question now? Just take 2 questions before we close. All right, no question. All right, so Linux commands. First of all, there's a command called, yeah?
Sorry, please, I have a question. Okay, pertaining to these AWS console, is this a requirement for the company, or some companies do require VirtualBox?
Cloud, well, any cloud. There may be other technologies that companies may want to use, but cloud is the most popular of all really technologies.
Oh, okay.
So
But I think some companies do require the Oracle VirtualBox, if I'm right.
Well, let's just focus on cloud for now.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So,
Sorry, sir, can you let me in, please?
I'm trying to log in from my laptop rather than my phone.
All right, next
Thank you.
question.
Are we doing exactly what you are doing now?
No, you are learning, you are taking questions, you are writing your notes, answering questions, understanding, and then by the time you go back to the videos, you can now settle down and get whatever you are missing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then at that time, you can now practice on your own by yourself. So right now, just try again.
Hello, Mr. Akin. Good evening.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a continuation of the Linux class we had the first class? This is the second class for Linux, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I was wondering where we're on AWS.
All right, so commands now. So we have learned that one command is clear, which is clear the screen. Another command is dir. Man. Another command is where do we start from? ls minus la. So what does ls mean? Clear. ls means list the content. Yeah, just bear with me. I know you already know, so that these people that are completely new can follow. So it means list. That's the meaning of ls. But what does it mean? In this current directory that we are in, show me what you have in there. List the content for me. When I did ls, it says there is nothing here. In fact, before we even do ls, let's learn the command. Print working directory. What does that mean? It means out of the many possible directory. Okay, now what is directory? What is directory? Okay, let me explain what directory is before we come back. Let's go to, let's share. All right, everyone here knows what a folder is in a Windows environment. All right, so when you create files, everything in computer is file. Everything in computer is file. So when you have a file, it means that you have.
Mr. Aregbesola, your whiteboard is not showing again.
My whiteboard is not showing.
Now it's showing. Okay.
It's showing now.
No, it's showing you. It's showing.
All right. So when you have files, maybe you create a document, your resume, you create, you have a photo of yourself, you have your Excel sheet, whatever thing that you create with your computer is generally called file. Whether it is created by you as human, or it is created by the system itself, or it's created, whatever, even if it's a virus, they are all generally files. So if you put these files on your storage system, you put all 5,003 files in your storage system like that, everything would be very disorganized. Just like in your house, you have your kitchen, your bedroom, your toilet, everything in one place. Imagine how disorganized that will look. So what you do is you separate the rooms, and then you call this one your bedroom. Then you put other things here and call this one your bedroom too, and so on and so forth. This is the organized way. In IT, in computers, when you create a room where you put properties, in this case, your property is your file, you call that room folder. It simply means a container that you have created for the purpose of saving files in an organized format. But even though it is called folder, in Linux, we don't call it folder, we call it directory. So directory is simply, in order not to mess up your files and have them not arranged in a disorganized format, you want to create a directory, put files that are relevant to your father there, create another directory, all files that concern your mom, put them there, create another directory, all files that concern yourself, put them there, create another directory, and this way it is organized. When you are looking for a particular file, you know that you should go to father directory still, or you should go to mother directory, or you should go to, you see what I mean? So you create directories so that you can save files in there. That's all that directory does. The same thing that folder does in Windows environment. Folder directory, the same thing, just different. All right, so now that you know what directory is, how do you create a directory, a space where you will save files in Linux? All right, so let's go back now so I show you how to create a directory. And then when I said, let's share here. All right, so when I said ls, what I actually meant was show me the list of all directories and all files inside this directory. And it tells me when I press enter, it shows nothing, which means it is not a bad command. Because if I did LK, it would have told me, I don't understand what you are talking about. That is not a command. In other words, it's a bad command. It's not a Linux command. So as long as it's not saying, I don't understand, and it's giving you a response, it means that there is nothing inside this current directory. And what is our current directory, by the way? The way to know there are many possible rooms in a hall, in a building. Which specific room are we on, are we at, or are we in right now? The command is to say print working directory. It tells you that there is a room labeled EC2 user. That is the room you are in. Let's give an example. Let me say make directory GD. So MD, sorry, yeah, I keep missing this thing with those command. Make directory, that's the command. Sorry. Make directory GD. So this command means make directory GD. And because we are currently in the directory EC2 user, GD will be created as a directory on top of EC2 user. Let's do it. All right, no complaint. So if we now do ls, last time we did ls, it showed us nothing. There was nothing inside. If we do ls now, it's going to show us there is a directory GD inside where? Print working directory inside EC2 user. Okay. If that is confusing, let me quickly explain that. Let me share the white screen. So this is what I mean. I'm saying that the way directories are created, the ways that you're allowed to create directories. First of all, there is the directory on top which all other directories are created. Just like you have a house, there is a foundation on which all the floors, floor 1, floor 7, floor 25, they have to be a foundation, right? A very, very solid ground floor. So there is a directory that forms the foundation. Maybe you want to represent that by what's the way to do it? Okay, let me just put it in this simple way. So let's do this.
Yeah, you were talking about GD, so we can make it GD.
Just hold on, yeah. So this is the directory, right? This is one directory. So I'm saying that we can, on top of this directory, we can create another directory. And on top of this directory, we can create another directory. And on top of this directory, we can keep creating as many directories as we want, one on top of the other. So what happens in the case of GD is we already had a directory, the foundation below which you cannot go. This is the bottom line, the foundation that is carrying all of these other directories. This foundation, this root is called the root directory, and it is represented by the sign, by that sign. That's, all right. So this other directory that you saw, let's call this one home, for example. All right. So to write the directory home, you must start with what is root. You write root, but we don't use English in Linux. We use signs. So the Linux meaning of root is that. And then what is the next directory? Home. So when I give you this sign in Linux, I'm saying there is a directory called home, which is built on top of the directory called root. I know what root is, the root of a tree. Below the root, what else? Where else can you go? That is it. No other place. All right, so let's go on. If we now have a directory, EC2 user, for example, on top of home, to write it in mathematical format, in Linux format, You now say /home/ then you put EC2. If you now have GD on top of this, then you now put GD here. So all this explanation here, this is how we write it. So it simply means that I have a directory, GD, which is inside another directory, EC2 user, which is inside another directory, home. And home is built on the foundational directory root. All right? So do you understand this concept? That you can have as many directories as you want, directory, Rufus, as many, 21-story buildings, just be building directory one on top of the other. Later on, we'll learn how to save files into this directory. But for now, we're just building directories. All right. So let's go back to that practical before I allow you to ask questions. So let's go to share. So there's a command called, let's clear the screen and start all of them. There's a command called print working directory. So what does this command tell us? This command, answer tells us that there is a directory EC2, which is built on the home directory, which is built on the root. So what's the meaning of this sign? This
Root.
backslash, what is it? Root directory, correct. And then the home directory is the directory inside the root directory. And EC2 is a directory inside home. So if we now do list, show me the list of everything inside, because this is the last directory. This is the default, this is where it will be referring to. So ls means show me the list of everything inside EC2 user. If we do ls now, it's going to show us GD. What does that mean? It means that GD is a directory inside EC2 user. In other words, I'm going to put a slash in front of EC2 user and put GD to define the position of it. All right, questions?
Yeah, quick one, sir. Yeah, when you spin up an EC2 server, how many directories are created by default?
Outside the scope of this class, we'll do that let the people who have not seen this thing before, who are completely new, let them ask questions, please. You have not even seen Linux before, you have not seen computer before, this is the first time. Do you understand so far?
So,
hello, Mr. Akin.
Yeah.
Please, sir, did you send an email out?
Let's focus on class. Talk about Linux.
Because I saw an email. I was just making sure if it's the right email I saw.
What is the meaning?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But for now, Linux. Let's deal with this command before we evaporate from our head.
Sir,
so who does not? What's the meaning of PWD? Who can tell me?
Yeah. What do you call it?
Hello, Mr.
Print working directory.
What does it mean? That's it. Okay, fine, correct. But what do you expect to see when you say PWD? What's the result that you expect?
It's a command to show
what directory you are in.
It's to know the location you are in.
Yes. Directory shows all directory on your system, on the EC.
No, it tells us what direction we are in, the location we are in, not all direction in the system. So that's fine, correct. But ls now shows us what the last person said. Shows us all the directories and all the files inside EC2. All right, so we created GD, at least somebody is speaking. Now let us go into GD that we created. So right now we are looking at the door and we are seeing GD. Let's open the door and go in. The command to go open the door and go into the directory GD is change directory. CD to GD. So that is it. If you notice, GD is now appearing as part of the prompt. But even if you didn't notice, no problem. If you now do,
come again with that, sir.
All right, so if you now do PWD, we are going to see that the last time we did PWD, we're in EC2, but right now we're in GD. What moved us from EC2 to GD? The command change directory to GD. So we're now inside GD directory.
Excuse me, Mr. Aregbesola. I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm new to IT. This is my first time
experience. So I wanted to ask you, the first time we met, you said if we wanted another lesson outside this, that there was a way you could do that. So I want to know.
No, let's focus on, can't discuss other lessons.
I don't understand anything. That's why I'm asking.
Well, we are just starting now. Ask questions.
Okay. Okay.
So let me seize the opportunity to ask questions. You can't just give up in the first class.
I guess the main issue is questions that are being asked are it's so obvious those people have prior experience. So
that's why I'm focusing on you, that you do not have experience. Ask questions about what is PWD? How do we move from GD to, ask those questions, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, so let me go back to, let me revise everything we have done so far.
Sorry, excuse me.
Just hold on. Just in case somebody doesn't even understand enough to even ask questions, let's go back to the very basics. All right. At least let's say the first 3-4 classes slowly, and then we can now come up to speed. All right, Omolola, let's come back now. So, you know what Linux is? Linux or Linux. You know what it is? Should we start from there? You already know what that is.
No, I don't really know what it is.
Were you in class the last time?
I was in class the last time, but I was I had problem joining classes, so I was missing
Have
points.
you seen the video of the last class?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's not my fault. All right, so I'm not going to explain all over because you had the material, you did not go through it. All right, so I'll just continue. If you went through the material and you still have questions, then I'll be able to help.
Please, how do you install the Linux in the first place? How do you?
We just took it when we went to class. We choose out of the many distros of Linux. We choose the Ubuntu. We choose the Amazon Linux. So we did not have to go through the installation process.
Okay.
All right. So.
I have a question, if you don't mind.
Please hold on. Let me come back to class. Let me even be sure at least that you understand 2-3 commands first of all before we now go.
Yeah, that's better.
So where are we now? We're in GD, right? Because I see that. All right. So, but in case I'm not sure, I'll just say print WD. You tell me I'm in GD. All right, I'm in GD, fine. Let me move out of GD. CD. Let me go back to that. All right, so Linux as an operating system. There are so many commands that you are going to learn for performing different functions. So what we are learning today has to do with directories. Directory. And what does directory mean? Directory simply means a briefcase, a box, a room, some empty space into which you save files. It's like a room into which you put properties, your chair, your furniture, your TV, all right? Or a cupboard in which you put your part of your cabinet, all right? So any empty space into which you intend to save something, that's what we call directory in Linux, all right? So when you have Linux operating system, you definitely want to be creating files because that's what computers is all about. It's all about file, create file, modify file. Where would you be saving them into? So you want to create the space where you'll be saving your files into. In other words, you want to create directory. Now, as somebody was asking earlier on, by default, the system already comes with the directory, the foundation of all the directories you'll be creating. And that foundation that system already has is called the root directory. So this is the root directory. So it is on this root directory that you now build your other directories, right? So what other directory can you have in the root directory? As many as you want. But in this particular case, in our own case now, what we saw there was that we have another directory on top of the root directory called home directory. right? Then the next one we saw was that by default, we did not create this. This one just came with the system automatically. That's what we mean by this. Another thing we saw there was that another directory, another empty space have been created by default for you to be saving your files into. And that space was labeled EC2 user. So these three directories already came with the system because it's just like it's a default state. Let's just call it default. So you did not create this, they were already there. By the time you created, you spinned up your server and you loaded your Linux operating system, these directories were already there. All right, but in command, when we are saying root directory, we don't type it in full, we just put this sign. So this sign means root directory, this backslash. So to show you as a Linux person, you are not going to draw all of this in order to explain to me what you are saying. You are just going to tell me that I have a root directory, and inside, on top of that root directory, I have home. You are going to put the home here, and then separate with a slash. And on top of that home, you have another directory called EC2 user, EC2 user. So this sign is the same thing as this, saying that I have, on top of the root directory, I have a directory home. And inside the directory home, on top of it, I have EC2 user. That's the meaning of this. Did that explanation help?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
it's getting
because
clearer.
all of these ones now are default, you as the user, you now want to start creating your files now. So you are not likely to be satisfied just dumping things in the default places because these places are available to everyone. So you want to organize your own and call your own, who is here? Is there a GD here? Call your own GD so that, by the way, Linux is a network, an enterprise operating system. So that means multiple people will be using this system at the same time, not just for one person like Windows. All right, Linux as an operating system, many people will be using it at the same time. So you don't want Jide, Fola, Eric, Johnson, all of them dumping their files in a single place. How would you not know your file from Johnson's file? So you want to create a folder. Jide create another folder, and Johnson will create another folder and call it Johnson. Joy will create another folder and call it Joy. So that Joy would always keep her files here. Johnson would always keep his files here. Jide would always keep his files here. So that's what Jide is trying to do by saying, create a folder for me, separate from my other network administrator, because I'm working for Amazon. There are over 300 different network administrators. All of them have their folders. Create my own where I'll be saving my own files. In any case, like you will see later, you do not even have access to somebody else's folder. Joy will not create a folder for herself and come and give you access. No, go and create your own folder so that you have access and only you would have access. So that is why you went ahead to create the folder GD on top of EC2. So if you understand this concept, the next thing now is, now that you know the relevance of directories and why you need to create directories, how do you create directory GD on top of EC2 user? Because this is the only place you have access to anyway, for now. Later, I will show you how to move from here to here, from here to here, and do stuff here. But for now, this is the place that you have access. So whatever you are creating would have to be on top of it. All right? And then once you are done, your time is up, 5 o'clock, you close, Joy comes in. Joy also is going to use that same method, that same syntax to create a folder Joy. Johnson will create his own. Rufus will create his own. Akin will create his own, and so on and so forth. So the command to create GD is what I was showing you. I was trying to show you there, which we are going back to. All right. So questions only on this concept of directory. If you have any question, we'll take it. And then once we're done with your question, I'll now go and repeat what we did earlier.
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Okay.
Is there a command to view all the folders on the EC2 user?
Yes, yeah, definitely. There are commands for it. Once you can think it, there's a command for it.
Okay, to view all the directory, I mean.
I already answered you.
Okay.
Excuse me. Please.
There is nothing that command, there's command for everything. If I don't know the command, it's a different thing, but there's command for everything. Yes, next question. Excuse me, sir. Please, I don't want to drag us back, but is there a way you can show how you launched that from AWS website? Because I'm trying to do it. I really don't know how to do it. I came in like some minutes late, like 10 minutes late. Please focus on this one. Focus on this.
You can check the video after the class.
All right. So now that you have understood the concept of directories, let us go and put all of this theory into practice. So let us go to our Linux server. Remember how to go to Linux server? So we go to our cloud. All right. This is our Linux server. Clear. Clear means clear. All right. So this is our Linux server. Now, where are we? Because there could be many directories, thousands of directories inside this Linux server. So to find out which directory specifically are we on? What is the location? Where are we working from? Are we in the root directory? Are we in EC2 directory? Are we in home directory? Am I in my supervisor's directory? I need to know where I am because I should be in my own directory. So the command to find out where in this planet of Linux am I, the command is what directory am I? It's called print working directory. Print the directory that I currently am. So it tells me that I'm in EC2 directory, which is created on top of home, which is in root directory. All right. The next thing I may want to do is what is contained in this EC2 directory. Give me the list of all files, all folders, everything inside EC2. The command is ls.
ls.
All right. And then it shows me GD. And then I could also do, maybe it's too early to introduce that. I could do a switch and do ls minus LA, which means even the hidden ones show me everything and list them. So it gives me a more detailed content of the directory EC2 user. So even though it was showing us only GD, there were actually other directories that were hidden. The dot in front means hidden. Hidden, that's why it was not showing by default when you did ls. In fact, permit me to just be doing this ls minus LA from now on, so that you are also able to see the hidden one and all of these details. All right. So do we know where we are now? Print working directory, where are we?
We're at the EC2 user.
Correct. Now that we are an EC2 user and we know where we are, let us create a directory on top of EC2 user. Because my name is Akin, I see that GD already has a directory. So it just tells me, I don't want to save my files here where the whole world will be seeing it. And then I don't want to go into GD because he has locked his directory. He does. In fact, I even have no business with GD's directory. So I want to create my own directory and put a file, the file that my boss asked me to create. I want to create it and put it in Akin. So the command to create the directory Akin is make directory, MKDIR, one word. Make directory, and then you give space and give the name of the directory.
Sorry, sir. What's the LA? What's the LA and what's the meaning of the LA?
Just use LA minus LA. Make directory Akin. So if we now do ls, all right, minus means switch, you are attaching a switch. All right, I see that in addition to GD, I also now have a directory, Akin. I know that Akin is a directory, not just by the color, but by the sign here, showing that Akin is a directory and showing that GD is a directory. So I've created a directory, Akin. Who else is here? Larry. Let's create a directory, Larry. Make directory, Larry. So Larry is made. Who can show me how to go, how to display the content so that I'll see if Larry is there?
LX minus LA.
Correct. Yes, please. So I have seen that Larry is there. All right. Who else is here? Abiola. So how do we make directory, Abiola? Make directory, Abiola. All right. Is it made? How do I confirm?
ls.
LS minus
LA.
LA.
All right. So Abiola is there. Awesome. So that's how to create directory. Now I created Akin. Let us go into Akin now.
I got a
This
question,
Akin that
please.
I created. Hold on. Put your question down when it's time you ask. So this Akin that I created, let us go into it. I want to go into Akin. So I'm just standing at the door now, on the hallway, and I'm seeing different doors. One labeled Abiola, one labeled Akin, one labeled GD, Larry. So I want to go into I want to open the door, Akin, and go into it. The command is change directory, CD, to Akin.
Yeah.
If I press enter, it tells me that I'm now in Akin. How do I know? If I do print working directory, it's going to show me that I'm now in Akin. And if I ask you, what is contained inside Akin? What is inside Akin? LS minus LA.
LS.
Yes, LS. Yeah, LS is good enough, but LS minus LA will give me more detail.
What does LA stand for?
List of contents.
Okay.
Yes. LS is list content, minus LA is which list alphabetically, list hidden files, list all. It's actually all, list all. All right. So I see that there is nothing in here. So let's quickly create a new directory inside here now. Make directory daily. If I do ls minus la, I see that there's a directory daily inside. How do I change into this directory? How do I move into daily?
CD.
Yeah, can somebody else help? We have over 100 people here.
CD daily.
CD change the directory.
Space daily.
Yeah. Shola, is Shola here? Sandy.
Yes, sir.
Sandy, what's the
I didn't get that, sir.
I want to go. Yeah, I want to go into daily. What's the command? I see that I have a directory.
CD dash
All right. No, just CD daily. CD space daily. All right. So I'm now in daily. How do I know I'm in daily? Print working directory. Let me I'm in daily. Yeah. Awesome. All right. I can take that question now. What's the question if somebody wants to ask?
I have a question like, what if you don't give the space? Like you just put like a CD.
Well, you try it now. That's not a question for me. You try it when you are practicing and see what results.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a question, Mr. King. So when you do the LS and LA, are we supposed to pay attention to the dates and the time here, or
don't worry about it now? I've not taught you about date now. The one I'm teaching you, you have not even
command
that you know
command line.
Forget about data and all this. Just tell me that you know how to. Hold on, I'm answering the question. So don't worry about it. Linux is wide. We still have 1 month together. We'll worry about those of it. So we're in daily now, minus LA. So there is nothing here, basically. That's what it is. So who can help me create one more directory inside daily?
MKDIR space, whichever name you want to put.
Yeah, your voice is too smooth. You already knew it. Let somebody who has
Huh?
MKDIR.
Make
that's a shaky
directory
voice.
the name.
Well, give us a name now.
Taiwo.
Make directory Arinze.
Taiwo. Okay. All right, Taiwo is made. How do we get into Taiwo?
Directory.
CD Taiwo.
Oh, LS. Okay.
No, not LS. CD Taiwo.
Okay.
CD Taiwo. Okay. Don't just do it because I do it. Understand what you are doing and why you are doing it. So how do I know that we're inside Taiwo? Okay. So are we actually inside Taiwo? Change direct.
Okay, change to Taiwo from wherever you were.
Where are we now? We're in Taiwo.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all right. Mr. Who is Ray? Mr. Ray. Is that Raymond?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here.
Who is Ray?
It's me, sir. Mr. Raymond.
No, you are not my Raymond. You are not the Raymond actor. That's not the point. Anyway, Raymond, explain this. Explain this line. What does this line mean? Raymond.
Well, it's my first day here, so I'm still just grabbing everything.
Is root home?
Niyi, no, hold on. Niyi, Ojelabi, explain that now.
So I guess that is more like an absolute fact, right?
Explain this.
So
what does it
the primary directory is home.
I'm asking Niyi now. Let's the answer.
So the primary directory, which is the root of the home, and the user is the EC2. Then you went into access. So Dele is in Taiwan is in Dele, then Dele is in access file. So I guess that's an absolute pass place as well. Not to Taiwan, sorry.
All right, so absolute pass. So you're already an IT person. Let's look for somebody. Ibuku, can you explain this? In terms of, we are talking directory. So in terms of directory, explain what this line means. All right, so this line means that I'm currently in the directory Taiwo, and Taiwo is inside the directory Dele. Dele is inside the directory Akin. Akin is inside the directory EC2. EC2 is inside the directory Home, and Home is in the root directory. So that is the complete path name. That's the meaning of that statement. All right.
Can we say Akin has subfolders of Dele and Taiwo?
Yes, you could say that. Yeah, you could say that. Yes. But I've not explained what's subfolder. So let's not speak big grammar that was scare.
All right. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so now that you know how to create directory on top of another directory, what do we do in order to move away from Taiwo? Take one step backwards to Dele.
CD dot.
CD dot.
The name. Okay. So print working directory tells us that we're in Taiwo. So if we now do CD space ... and then we'll now do print working directory, we are going to see that we are no longer in Taiwo, we are now in Dele. So what happened? We moved one step backward from Taiwo to Dele. Let's go to that diagram again. Share this. All right. So earlier on, we're talking about moving from this point to this point, CD home, from here to here, CD EC2, from here to here, CD GD, CD Akin, CD Dele. All right. So to move up, to build directory on top of to move up, do CD. But to move down one step, the command is CD ... So to move from here to here is CD ... To move from here to here, CD. All right. So if I'm currently in the directory GD and I wanted to move away from GD into EC2, what is the command that will bring me here? From GD to
CD.
CD dot.
CD dot.
Space dot. Remember the space. All right. So that's the meaning of CD ... All right. So if I type CD ... Okay, don't worry. Let's go back. Let's go back to. Okay. So if I now say print working directory, if I do CD ... what do you expect to see if I press enter?
Akin.
It's to move me one space back, Dele to Akin, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's do it. So if we now say print working directory, so yes, you are right. You are right. All right. Okay, the guys who have been answering questions so far, please take a break. Let's new people answer now. So if I now do CD space ... what do I expect to say? New people?
Take us back to user.
EC2.
User.
EC2
user.
EC2
user.
Standard user.
Correct. So print working directory, EC2 user, correct. So if I do CD ...
Take us back home.
Correct. If I now do print working directory, Root.
Home.
Root. So if I do C,
Root.
root, correct. So if I do print working directory, this is the root. Abiola, if you directory root.
Yes, sir.
That is the foundation. That's the no other place. So if I do C, I'm not in root. If I do CD dot, where do I go from here?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. I will still remain in root. Print working directory is still root. There's no other place to go. Root is the last foundational directory. And then what other directories are in root? What other files and directories are in root? How do I find that?
LS minus LS.
All right. Look at files and directory in root. There are so many. All right. There are so many. All right. User, variable, you will learn all of these, but later. Root, and so on and so forth. But the one that we have been using so far is the home one. Look at it. This is the one that. All right. So to go back to the one that we have been using, how do we move from the root now to home? How do we move into home?
CD
home. All right. And then print working directory. LS minus LA. There's only one directory here. How do we go into that directory?
CD space EC2.
All right. CD space EC2. If it was longer, you could just highlight it. And then paste. Okay. I really have to do that. Maybe it's not. EC2 user. All right. So there are many directories here. Which one do you want to go into?
SSH.
Jide.
No, SSH is not your directory. All right. So another shortcut for LS minus LA is LL, but I want to rush it. So CD daily LS minus LA CD Taiwan.
Excuse me, sir. Why can't we go into SSH?
LL. LL. All right. So finally, there is nothing in here, right? LS minus LA. But I do LS minus LA, or I do LA LL. LL is the same. Now, the point I want to make now is print working directory. Now you know how to navigate directories. This is a topic in Linux. You know how to navigate, move from one directory to another directory, move backward from one directory to the directory below, and so on and so forth. All right. So I'll just take a few questions now, and then we'll move on to learn other commands. So the commands that I expect you to learn, to have learned now are, of course, they'll be in the manual that I'll be sending after the class. Print working directory. What else? Change directory.
LS.
List directory.
Ping.
Make directory.
LS.
Directory.
MKDIR.
Huh?
Make directory. MKDIR.
LA.
No, that one is the LA is just a switch. This is the real command. So LS will take care of.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Any other one?
LL.
All right. So who does not know how to use any other one that we learn? So I can revise in case somebody doesn't know.
LL.
Yeah, LS is part of LS.
So LS is list directory minus LA means list all in that directory, right? Is that correct? LS
is dash LA.
Yes. So that's already
so we
taken care
don't
of.
use LS on its own.
We have been using LS on our own.
Exactly, to list directory. When we do minus LA.
LS is just to show the non-hidden ones. Then when you put LS minus LS, everything together.
Okay, it shows everything. Okay.
What's the
All right, so who doesn't
terminology for the
understand how
LA?
to use any of these commands? All right, everybody understand that. All right, we'll take 5 minutes of questions and then we'll learn to maybe 2 or 3 new commands.
Excuse me, sir. The
Yes.
LA, the dash LA, what is the terminology for that? Is it like an argument or an option or?
Option.
Option, okay.
Excuse me, sir. I think
Yeah.
most of the people teaching along with you should double down so that others can learn it. I've not been talking. I know some of these things, but others, there's some new people here too. The way you guys are overshadowing them, they're going to end up not learning anything, and some people will leave.
And I support
Yes.
that because it's been so
Yes.
distracting, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that's
for for saying that. We appreciate it. You are very right.
All right, so the other option I have is to just go on teaching without even interacting with you. Because when I actually ask questions, I'm expecting the people who do not know to tell me I'm understanding or I didn't get that.
I don't
Can I
understand
ask a question, sir?
anything, but I believe
don't-
if I watch the video all over again, I will be able to catch up because I'm doing this for the first time.
Yeah, most people here are doing this for the first time, and I promise them they would understand it.
Okay.
I have a
So
question.
if there is a particular command or something you don't understand, I can help. But to say you don't understand everything is really hard.
Sorry, I have a quick
I don't
question as regards LS minus LA. Sorry, I need to.
Don't worry about it. It's too irrelevant. It will waste our time. Let's learn more important.
I have a question, please.
Yeah. Question.
The question I have is, if we put from Taiwo, we get to Jide, and from Jide, we get to Taiwo or something like that, is it possible for Jide to fill what is in the folder of the Taiwo without
All right,
the
let's go on.
permission of Taiwo?
We have not done it, so okay. So what are we now?
Excuse me, sir, I have a question.
Hold on. Let's go on. Let's go. So there's Taiwo here. What we want to do now, we want to begin to delete the directories that we created one by one. Let's delete all of them. So let's go into Taiwo. CD Taiwo. All right. So there is nothing here. So this is the topmost directory. Nothing on top. So we say print working directory. We're in Taiwo. So we cannot delete Dele while we're in Taiwo. We cannot delete any of this. We cannot be on top and delete that. All right. Even the Taiwo itself, let us try to delete Taiwo and see what it does. So the command to remove a directory is remove directory. RMDIR. Remove directory Taiwo. Press enter. It tells you you cannot remove directory Taiwo because you are inside Taiwo. You cannot be inside Taiwo. To remove Taiwo, it will not work. So in order to remove this directory, to delete this directory Taiwo, the thing to do is to first of all take one step out of Taiwo by doing CD dot. Right? Just watch, you don't have to. Right? So CD dot print working directory. We are no longer inside Taiwo. We have taken one step out of Taiwo to Dele. We are in Dele now. If we now do ls minus la, we are going to see that we are not in Taiwo. We are below Taiwo and we are seeing Taiwo above. Correct. At this level, we can now remove the directory. Remove directory Taiwo. All right. If we do that, Taiwo is gone. If we now do ls minus la, Taiwo is no longer appearing like it appeared the last time we did ls minus la. We have successfully deleted the directory Taiwo. All right. So let's not delete the directory Dele. So where are we? Print working directory. So we want to delete Dele. And right now we are inside Dele. So it will not work if we say remove directory Dele. The first thing to do is to do CD dot. What does that do for us? If we now do ls minus la, we are going to see that we are no longer inside Dele. Dele is above. All right. So now that we have successfully taken one step out of Dele with CD dot, we can now remove the directory. Dele. Remove directory. Remove directory. Dele is gone. It's removed. Now do ls minus LA. We are going to see that delay is no longer. All right. All right. So what are we? Print working directory. We're in Akin and Akin is in EC2. All right. So to remove Akin, we'll do CD out of Akin. Now that we are no longer in Akin, we are one step behind. We can now say remove directory. Remove directory.
Space.
All right. If we do ls minus LA.
Question, please.
ls minus LA. Sorry. We're going to see that Akin is no longer. All right. With that example, who does not know how to remove the directory GD right now? If you know, don't need to speak. If you do not know, just say. There's somebody who cannot remove the directory GD here. All right. Yes. There's somebody, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
Sir, can you do it one more time?
ls minus LA. So we have directory Larry, we have directory GD, we have directory Abiola. To remove any directory, the command is remove directory. RMDIR. Remove directory.
Okay.
What directory to remove? Abiola. It is gone. If we now do ls minus LA, Abiola is no longer there.
Okay.
So let us delete GD. The command is remove directory, GD. GD is gone. To confirm, ls minus LA. Sorry, ls minus LA. GD is no longer there. All right,
Oh,
let
sorry,
me do
what's PS?
What was the typo?
So ls minus LA. So let's go into Larry. CD Larry. ls minus LA. All right, so there is nothing in there. So I want to create a directory inside Larry. The way to do that is to say make directory. Make directory, give it any name is okay. Shegun or Soji. Make directory Soji. It's done.
PWD.
Maybe you want to say ls minus LA to see if it's actually there. Yes, it's there. All right. Yeah.
Instead of using names, without the people are getting confused, can we use like real example? For example, maybe make like a.
Mora, bro. Mora, what's up?
I'm not hearing you well.
Can you hear me now?
What did you say?
I said, so instead of using names, can we use real life example? Like for example, maybe we suggest we create a department called finance department. Then underneath the finance department, we have the budget for 2020. Then
it's the same thing now. It's the same thing. There's no, yeah.
Name. The way I see this, I see because we are relating it to names, people are kind of figuring it out in a different way. So if we give them real life example, like being the instead of names, using
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So now we have a G, right? ls minus LA. So let's go into Soji, CD, SOGI. So ls minus LA. We've done this before. I'm just revising so that the few people who are still not catching it might be able to grasp what they are missing. All right, so we're in Soji now. Let's create another directory inside Soji. Make directory Ben inside Soji. ls minus LA Ben. Print working directory. All right, so we're in Soji. Let's go into Ben. CD Ben. Print working directory. So we're in Ben directory is inside Soji directory is inside Larry, and Larry is inside EC2 user is inside home, and home is in root. All right, who does not know how to delete the directory Ben?
So I have a question, sir.
No questions. Just let the person who does not know say? Anybody
I
who
don't
does not know how to delete?
I don't know.
Okay, one person does not know how to delete the directory pen. Any other person?
I don't as well.
Okay, so to delete the directory Ben, this is it. So where are we? Print working directory, we're in Ben. All right, we see that we're in Ben. So what's the command to remove directory? The command to remove directory is remove directory. That's the command RMDIR. Can you see it? And then the name of the directory you want to remove is what? Ben.
Ben.
So that's the command. But why is it not working? What's the problem?
Can't be
because we need to move
No,
on
the
from
people who
Ben
do not
before.
know. Sorry. Only the people who do not.
Because we are still in Ben. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, that one. Yeah, because we are still in Ben.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we now do now to make this command work?
TD dot.
We have to go
So
back.
I'm talking to people who do not know, please.
We have to go back to, let me see, what direction we have before Ben?
You have
Okay.
to go back into one directory before Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, so take one step out of Ben. So the command is cd space dot. All right, so print working directory, we're in Sogina. And if you do ls minus la,
Ben is gone.
no, it's not gone. We have not removed it. It's showing there. So what's the command now to remove Ben? The same command that we typed earlier.
RMDIR space Ben.
Remove
Ben.
dir Ben. All right, so if we do ls minus la, Ben is gone now. Print working directory.
I want to ask engineer.
How do we know when Ben is gone?
Lady,
What are the
there's
signs?
a specific lady that.
Hold on, please hold on. How do we know when Ben is gone? That is more direct question. No long stories, so that we can. All right, how do we know when Ben is gone? The last time we did.
LSLA.
Let me answer now.
Hey, to know.
These people from.
The last time we did ls minus la, there was Ben. But after we did remove directory Ben, and we did ls minus la, there was no longer Ben. That's how we knew that Ben was gone.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Okay, let's do another one. Now we're in Soji, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Print working directory. We're in Soji. We already know that we cannot be in Soji to remove Soji. If we say remove directory Soji, it will not work. So what we need to do is, first of all, take one step out of Soji before we now say remove directory Soji. All right? But before we say remove directory Soji, let's do ls minus la. And then we are seeing Soji now, right? Now let us use the command, remove directory Soji. If we now do ls minus la again, Soji is no longer showing. Which means that Soji is gone. So did that answer your question? The person you asked, how do we know?
Yes, please. Thank you, sir.
Please,
right.
I have one question, please.
Yeah, just go straight to the point. No story.
Yeah, in this case, we are using names. How about having identical names? Does it work?
It will not work. So once we have a directory, for example, ls minus la, okay, there's nothing here. Let's take one step. Cd dot ls minus la. So we already have Larry. So if you now say make directory Larry, it's going to tell you Larry already exists. I cannot create another Larry.
Thank you.
Then, however, Linux is case sensitive. If you now say make directory capital L Larry, this is different from the other Larry with small letter L. So Linux is going to create it. So if we say ls minus la, Larry with small letter is different from Larry with capital letter. Very, very important. Linux is case sensitive. Small l is a different letter from big L. It will accept both. They are not the same. So to answer your question, Larry with big letter and Larry with small letter, they are not identical. They are two different names. To be case sensitive. Because sometimes you want to enter command, if you mistakenly enter capital letter ls, it will not work. It's not the same thing as small letter ls. Linux is case sensitive. Good question.
Excuse me. We are talking about remove directory and delete directory. And we said the command to remove directory is DIR, I mean, RMDIR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we say DEL DIR, delete directory?
Try it now. Right, because we don't want to be experimenting. We want to focus on the things that work.
Yes. Okay.
Professor,
All right.
Quick question. If
So,
you delete,
yeah, question.
Yeah, your quick question. If you delete a directory, does it delete what's inside of it?
Yes. If you do it rightly and it's deleted everything inside, or let me put it this way, there is a command to delete directory and its contents. Okay. I'm not sure if you are comfortable with this. I would have gone on now to begin to put things inside directories so that we'll see how that works.
Yeah,
but I'm
so
just making sure that everybody understands this primary level first. We'll see that. All right. So let's go ahead and remove Larry. What do we have in here? Who can help us remove Larry? Both Larry.
CD dot dots.
We are not inside. What are we? Print working directory.
Yeah.
We are not inside Larry, so there's no need for CD dot dot.
RMDDIR, small Larry.
RMDDIR,
big Larry.
Larry.
Okay. Yeah.
And then for the other one. By the way, your up this up arrow key, the arrow key pointing up will bring the last will bring your commands successively.
Which key?
Arrow key pointing up.
Up arrow.
All right, so remove directory Larry. All right, so we have been able to create directories, remove directories, change directories, up, down, and so on and so forth. Just assure me that you understand all of that, and then we'll now learn how to create files and put files into directories. If you don't understand it,
which key? We don't understand the arrow key. Which sign is there?
Saki, you're doing a great job. It's just a short question.
Arrow, so arrow key, A arrow arrow W
on your keyboard.
Okay, yeah, directional, yeah. The one pointing up, there are 4 of them. One is pointing up.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Have you seen it now?
Mr. King.
It's free training.
I have a question.
All right, let's take your questions.
Okay. Deleting the files and directory. There's no warning when you are deleting the file. Is that how it is in the real life?
Questions are too tough for this class. Let's take it as it is now. When we get to the advanced ones, so you know how to configure it. Let's do with the basics. Make directory, change directory. Who's not comfortable with that? Obed, are you comfortable with that? Hello. Obed, you are the only person I'm seeing. No, the others are not showing video. That's why I'm talking to you.
Oh, yes, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
David, do you know how to create directory?
Yes, I know how to. Thank you.
Okay. So who did not know how to create directory before this class and now knows how to create directory and move from one point to another, change directory, remove directory?
Me.
I can. Yeah.
What are you?
I can.
I don't see you. Okay, at least 2 people can, right? Who can do it? So I will just invite.
We can do.
I can.
I can do.
Okay, so is it okay to learn how? Somebody cannot.
Well, I say I can.
You can, right? Okay. All right.
So I must say you're a great teacher. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're just great.
Johnson, which Johnson is that? Is that our Johnson from Canada? Johnson.
This is Johnson from Nigeria.
I'm still. Oh, Nigeria. Okay. Okay, so let's create a file. Let's create Let's just learn that one. What time is it? Let's create a file, put it in a folder, and then attempt to delete the file and the file inside the folder together and see what error we'll get and how to navigate that error. All right. Now, in Linux, Linux is not, first of all, Linux is for big business. It's for managing servers. It's not for word processing, Excel, graphics, and so on and so forth. No, it's for managing and configuring servers. So it's big business. However, Linux also has its own word processors. I mean, editors, they call them, not word processors. So there are 3 editors in Linux, text editors. All right, so let me introduce, I'll tell you all of them, then we'll focus on one, use one to create a file. Well, anyhow, there are many ways, but let's see which one works for us. Okay, so get rid of the video so I can focus. Clear. Now, they call them text editors. Let me allow people in. Okay. Or another way, a very simple way to create a file. Where are we? S minus LA. You know the problem with that command?
You didn't space
No
the F
space.
before the L.
Correct. So all those questions you ask about, what if we do it like this? Just type it and you see the error. All right. So let's quickly create a new folder so that we can use it to, you can put a file inside it. Let's create a folder. Let's create a directory, sorry. Make directory and call it what?
Akin.
Test 1. Change directory to test 1. Now, whatever we do now, we are working in test 1. So any file that we create right now, we'll be creating it inside test 1. A simple way to create a file is to say touch, which is a command.
Excuse me, someone is unmuted and the noise is disturbing.
Please mute yourselves. Please mute yourselves. All right. So touch what? Let's say touch any name file 34. All right, ls minus la, sorry, minus. A file has been created 34, but there is nothing inside that file. The file was created August the 4th. Okay, we can correct that, but we can just. So this tells you that for once we have created a file. Everything we had been doing before now was about directory. But now we have created a file called 34. Even though the file contains nothing, it's empty file, but it is a file. All right. So touch is the simplest way to create a file. Let's create another file. Say touch file 7. That's it. So if we now do ls minus la or simply ll, it tells us that we have 2 files inside the directory test 1. The name of the files are file 34 and file 7. Touch. Just touch. Empty files. All right. So who can help me create a file now so that we have 3 files inside here? Anybody?
File 4.
Touch file
File 2.
Touch file.
Okay.
File 2.
File 2 with space is different from file 2 without space. So if we do ls minus l or ll, these are the files. Okay. Now, how do we delete files? Or to answer that question that person asked, suppose we now go into, we have a directory test 1. And inside that directory test 1, we have how many files? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. All right. We have 5 files, you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, how do we delete the directories? test one. We say cd ... And then we'll now say remove directory test. I have a feeling I'm too fast. I'll stop here and then we'll take the remaining time to revise. I think I'm rushing you guys. All right, remove directory test one. And then it's going to tell us, look at the question somebody asked. So you cannot have files inside directory and delete that directory. No, it will tell you directory must be empty before you can delete it. Right now, these files are contained in that directory and therefore it cannot be. What's the solution? What's the way out? I mean,
we need to delete the files.
You need to delete all the files first. Well, maybe not one by one. While this is your level, this elementary level, let us do it one by one. All right. So where are we? Print working directory. We are not even in the directory where the files are. So we cannot, because if we say ls minus la, the files are not here. The files are not here. So let us go into the directory where the files are. Now you see for the first time, the usefulness of directories in saving files. So let us go change directory to test one. And if we now do ls minus la, you see all the files. Oh, okay. This is the reason we're creating folders so that we can see files inside. Yes, this is the reason we're creating directory. And typically your directory, like you see when we get to DevOps, your directory, you are going to have as many as 20, 50 useful, system files that you create by yourself to automate processes. If you don't have a directory, why are you going to save all of these files? Right. So now we are here. How do we delete files? To remove files, to remove directory is remove directory. But in the case of file, to remove file to be removed, rm. There's no directory in front, just rm. Rm, what's the name of the file you want to remove? File. So we have deleted this file. The file called file, we have deleted it. So if we do ls minus la, that file called file is no longer there. All right, so who can help me delete file 4?
Remove space.
RM file 4.
File 4, correct.
So in this case, there's no order. You just type the file you want to remove.
Yeah, you type the file you want to remove. Like you see in the movies, or the file you want to copy. Yeah, just name them.
Okay.
All right, so what? ls minus la. Who can help me remove file 2?
RM2.
RM2. People are participating now. They are coming up. All right. So how do we confirm that it's removed?
LS minus
There's a female voice. So that girl is hot now. Okay. What else? Help me remove 534. You don't pass interview finish.
So can we
LS minus LA.
Just let's do this thing generally the way we are doing it. Don't take us to can we?
We cannot.
You are too advanced for this class. You go and join me for special 4,500 class. Let's carry. You want us to do everything with one command. I know where you are going. Anyway.
5.7.
So remove 5. Remove 5.7. All right. ls minus LA. Awesome. So your directory is empty now because the reason you deleted all of those files was to make your directory empty. Now that your directory, you want to remove directory, what do you do?
No, you come out of that directory first.
So you have to get out first.
Okay, CD.
Don't worry, let's make the mistake so that they will know what. Test 1.
That's fine.
Okay, so what did we do wrong?
We are inside the directory, so you have to come out.
It's working directory.
All right.
CDD.
What you have to do.
CD ...
Okay.
We were still in the directory.
Then
No, we are no longer there. ls minus LA. We are no longer there.
Okay.
So now
we can remove the directory, right? Remove directory.
Then file
test
1.
Wow, fine. Look at my students. Now you are talking. So ls minus la.
minus LA.
This is it. At least by the time you are talking to somebody and you say, I can create and remove directory, even if that's all you say, the fact that you can even get to the level where you can enter a command to remove, so they will listen to you. All right, we'll stop here in terms of learning new things, but we'll continue to revise. Okay, so somebody was asking me, how did I come into cloud and how did I load Linux? I'll show you that now. What other question do you need me to handle?
Excuse me, sir.
Did class times change?
I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
I also have a question, but I don't know if it's possible to ask it over.
Yeah, let's ask all the questions relating to commands now, because once we
That's
get
what I want to ask. Yes, that's what I'm. So can I go ahead?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes, so my name is Stephen. So in regards of deleting files in the directory, right? Is it possible to move one step upward from directory test1 to EC2 user and delete the entire directory that has the file?
Yes, it's possible. There's a command for that.
Okay, I was just thinking that should have been the best route then, but thanks. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that what I was thinking was
By the time you get to
right.
DevOps, you'll be using those advanced commands. But right now, this is only the first class in Linux. So let's learn them.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Mr. Akin, I have a question.
Yes, please go on.
Okay, when we created, there's a file, I saw something. When we created file 2.
Yeah.
On the listings, I now saw 2 files created. We saw
Correct.
2
That was
and
good
5.
observation. Very good one. Third file, 2. So it will say it will create 2 files because of the space that I have.
Yeah.
To create one file, it creates another file. But if I said create file 2, that is one word, then to just be one file.
Okay.
Yes. It was the space that caused that.
Okay, I have a quick question, right?
Yes.
Instead of unlike normal Windows, you can name your file any name. So is it possible here as well?
To rename a file?
No, I mean, yeah, instead of saying touch file, can you say touch
yeah, you can touch anything.
Put a name. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything.
I think what he means is whether they are like
want.
reserved keywords or something like that.
Yeah, anything. You accept anything. Anything you want.
Since you
look at this
touch.
long one that I have.
Okay.
ls minus LA.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. What about the RWRR on the left and then the DRWXR? What is that?
Those
hidden files.
Permission.
All right. Can we take questions that are related to this class? What I
I noticed something. I have a question, please.
No. I'm not taking questions for them. Where's the mute? All right. So if you know this is your first Linux class ever, or first IT class, I'll only take questions from you. I only take questions from people that are completely new to IT.
I am. Okay, I'm not new to IT, but this is my first time taking a Linux class.
Yeah, because if you say first Linux, yes, this is my first time too.
Okay, I can manage you, but I actually prefer IT people, first IT people. I can manage you.
Yes, I am first.
Yes, go on.
Yes, my question is, I know there are a lot of commands to cram. So are there places you can see these commands, maybe if you're at work and you need to...
Yeah, I'll give you, first of all, I'll give you a cheat chart of all the commands in Linux. And then out of all of those commands cheat chart, we're going to use at least 70 to 80% of them in class. And then in the course of those cheat chart, also, you know enough vocabulary to be able to Google what you need to do that is not available in the cheat chart. Yeah, it's part of the trade.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I have a one-page PDF that I will put on as part of your materials. All right.
Okay, Mr. Akin.
Yeah.
I noticed something. When you created a file, the date of the file wasn't reflected. It didn't capture the real date. May I know what's the reason for that?
Yeah, because we need to set date. You can just use the command to set date. But again, that's not important. So this server is capturing the place where I set up that is cloud. That's cloud. We'll talk about it in cloud. So in cloud, there are different availability zones and regions. So if I take a server in Japan, it will be showing me Japan time instead of the current. In any case, I don't even know where you are, so I don't know what you mean by the time. What are you?
I'm in Nigeria.
You cannot be correct now. This is we're in US now. Anyway,
No,
but even
I'm
for
just saying
US people,
in your own case, in your
yeah,
own
even for
case.
US people, there are different time zones. Yes, we can take care of that. It's a small.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
All right.
Is it possible to rename the files that the file or the folder we've already named?
Yes.
Is it possible to
Yes, you
rename
can
it?
rename.
Okay, is there a command for that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a question.
All right. So I wish I knew the new people. Is Manuela here? Manuela is not here. It's
I'm new. Today was my first day. I missed on Monday. Actually, I forgot to set my my reminder. So today's my first day, but I was able to watch a video for Monday. Thanks.
All right, that's good.
So, Mr.
Just,
Kim, this is my first time also. My name is Johnson.
All right, Johnson. You have a question for me now?
No, I'm okay. I'm doing it the same way you're doing it. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Somebody's raising hand.
I have a question.
Yeah, somebody's raising hand. Go on with your question. Go on with your question.
Okay, yeah, hi, Mr. Akin. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, I'm new to IT as well, but I was checking, I could see something like Bash, and I've heard of Bash scripting at some point. So is this the same thing as Bash scripting, or is it different thing entirely?
We'll get there one way.
Awesome, thank you.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
Thank
It's
you.
1 month of training. This is just the first day. So let's take it step by step. If I give you everything in one day, you'll not come back tomorrow. It will be too complex.
Of course, thank you.
All right. All right, so let's go back to cloud and how I even got to this point when I began to enter Linux commands. All right, let's go. Let me log out. Oh, okay, don't worry, I will not log out. I'll just create a new. All right. So I already took you through how to create a new account in AWS. It is free of charge, but you'll be required to enter your debit or credit card details so that in case you use, there are over 2,000. As at the time I became certified, it was 1,500. But right now there are over 2,000 different services. I don't want to take you into cloud at all because it's on cloud. But thousands of services in cloud. So they cannot all be free just because they want to encourage you to become certified so that you can recommend to your employers. So there is limit to what is free. So the reason you are entering your payment credentials is in case you use what is not free, then it can be charged. Otherwise, it's actually free to use the services that are within the free domain. So once you create your account and then you come, let's log out. Let me log out. Sign out. All right, so when you come here, can you see my screen? Can you see my AWS screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So you say sign in, and then you provide the under the user root, you provide the email address that you used to sign in, you used to create the account. And which was mine? Which one did I use now?
theITern USA.
No, that's not the one I used.
Okay.
That's for my business.
You were offline when you used it, so we can't tell.
Yeah, so you can't help me. Okay, I think it was this. All right. So I'm working on an app that is so root user this, and then just to ensure that you are human, it may ask you to type this in HXMZH, and then you now provide your password. Where's that one again? Okay, so you're signing. So now I'm in cloud. Again, cloud is wide. This is not to teach you cloud. This is just to teach you how to spin up an EC2 to run your Linux so that you can practice Linux. So you come here to EC2. Or even if it was not provided there, in your own case, then you can come here and say, give me EC2. All right, and then that's it. EC2 is the name that Linux, AWS calls their servers. You take EC2, and then you say, I have one EC2 already running. I can have as many EC2s as I want, provided I'm ready to take the risk. I saw a cartoon, one of my trainers posted a cartoon of somebody in the park, and somebody else was asking, the other person was asking, you were once rich, how did it become so broke? He said, because I left too many EC2s. I forgot to turn off my EC2s on AWS. I don't know if you got that. AWS charging so much that it became broke.
If you don't turn it off, they will charge the hell out of it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So remind me to tell you, to show you how to turn them off.
Yes, please.
Otherwise, you just eat up your credit, your free credit. And anyway, so let's go on. So launch EC2. So I say launch. And then I provide the name for the server. What name should I call it? Let's call it testing. Settings 2, for example. Not really bother so much about the others because already assuming that you are using Amazon Linux out of the many possible Linux. So nothing really to worry about, except that if you want keep here, you can create it. But again, you don't even know about keep here right now because I've not taught you keep here. Don't worry about it. So you can feel safe to go all the way to the bottom and say launch instance. Oh, I must use keep here. Okay. So I already have one. So I just say use the keep here that I created. And this is how it will create
How
a
can I
Linux.
create the key?
That's in cloud. That's in cloud. If you want to know cloud and how to all of these services that are available, then you register for AWS. Anyway, so where was I?
Launch it.
So we have a server now, an instance that is running a Linux operating system. Somebody was asking me, how did I install the Linux? Because I'm in cloud, all those heavy protocols, processes of installing, getting feed, all of them have been taken care of by cloud. So I just clicked install Amazon Linux, and that was it. So it's there. So I click the server, and it's right there. Where's the first one that I had? So this is the first one we're using. This is the new one that I just did. All right. So if we take this new one now, we select the new one, and then we say connect. There are different ways to connect. You will know all of this. You will know depending on how far you are ready to go. And then we just leave it as the default EC2 connect, and then we'll say connect. That's it. We are now on the command line interface of that server, where we can now command the server to do whatever we want it to. All right. So this is where we command, we configure that server, we administer it, we tell do this, do this. If somebody is trying to log into you from Nigeria, don't allow. All of those configurations is done from this command line. And all the commands that you'll be using to effect those configurations is what we have started to learn by the simple CD, make directory, change directory. We start from there and then it becomes complex. All right, so that was how we created it. All right. So once we are done with that, we just close the window and then we'll go back to instances, and then we click this particular one that we don't want anymore, and we'll say, okay, let's delete the new one because we still have something to do.
Stop it before you delete it.
Huh?
Stop the instance before you delete it.
So we just say testing 2, and then you say instance state, and then you can say terminate instance. All right? Terminate, you are no longer charged while you are not working on it. So the free credit remains valid, and then you can use it for up to 1 year before they start to charge. So don't forget to shut down to terminate your EC2s. All right, questions?
Yeah, please. I just want you to just throw a little more light on this key pair type.
We are doing Linux. We are not doing cloud.
Okay.
So that is part of cloud. Okay. We have a cloud. Yeah, many of you want to complete Linux and have a good understanding of Linux and then move on to AWS. Of course, you know already.
No, but
you know that,
if we are now that we are creating this account, you need to select a key pair value.
And just give it a name. That's all. You were not here the first time we did it.
Okay. No, I wasn't watching.
Watch the video just to give it a name. You just type in that. Okay, if that's what you mean, that's simple. Just create a name. Just put a name in that text box. That's all. Call it daily hacking or whatever. But you don't need it now because at some advanced stages you need it. Yeah, we still got 9-10 minutes. I can see.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we terminate our instances at the end of every
yes. Every session, every practice session, terminate your instance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, so the new people in class, you see how to go into cloud now and set up an instance and use it to practice?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, beautiful. That's good. That's a big thing. Because like
Thank
I
you
said,
very much.
normally we don't take people to cloud the first day. We reserve that until they pay big money, and then so we use all kinds of other methodologies like virtualization, creating VM machines, just anything to not bring it to cloud. So the fact that you're able to see what cloud looks like the first day and you're able to spin up the server, and then you are going ahead to practice is a big deal. All right, so make sure you practice. If you wait for the course to complete before you start to practice, your work will be too much and it might be disturbed.
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
I got this message saying the Linux class has been postponed. It has been rescheduled for every 2 weeks on Monday, Wednesday until August 31st. Don't even understand the message.
Yeah, as long as it's from me, what we discussed earlier on is still okay.
Okay. So I should just ignore this message, right?
Just join classes Mondays and Wednesdays. That's what the message is.
Okay.
My thing is that I logged on like 7 o'clock and the class was like 6:59. And then I just saw you guys in cloud already. And I was like, I didn't have an idea this was Lena because it started too fast. Or is there like a time we need to be on before you let us in?
6 p.m. I started class at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I came in at that time. You logged me in like 7:01, and then I just saw you guys in the AWS platform already.
Okay.
You have a different time zone.
Before the class started.
I have a question about this, how to delete this running server, because I tried it without the key pair and it's working, but I need to delete it just like you said, so it won't be running on the background. The
instance state.
To delete the instance.
You go to instance states. Drop
Do you mean to delete the instance?
Yes, I'm trying to delete the instance.
Do you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
All right, so this is how to delete instance. So I click the instance I want to delete, the running one, and I go to instance state, and I see terminate instance. That's all.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Engineer Ken, I want to ask you about the $100 fee. Are we to make the payment for this learners class or for the AWS class?
Watch the first video. You know that. Okay. I don't want to discuss anything more. All right, so
excuse me.
I'm glad that
how do we get the class?
You
the
have
videos. How do we
today.
get the videos?
It's on the platform for people who have registered for the videos, so I'll put it there.
Yes, please. I want to follow up on the question someone asked earlier because about the email you sent. Actually, the email says that
forget about the email. It's just allowing you to log in every Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday till September the 1st. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, it's nothing.
Sorry, quick question.
So it just means that we are using the same link to log in till September to complete this training.
Sorry, quick question, Mr. Akin, please.
Did you get that? Sorry, the person who asked the question.
Yes, I got it.
All right, so nothing serious. Yeah.
Quick question, please. Where are we going to get the chit chat of the command?
On the forum, on the WhatsApp forum.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr.
All right.
Akin, please.
Yeah.
In the first class, I actually came in late when we were trying to explain the terms for the materials. Please, I don't know if you can come again.
You'd have to watch the video, I'm afraid. We'll
Okay,
have all
how
the
do I
formulas.
have access to the video?
It's on YouTube now.
Okay.
You have not seen the first video?
No, I haven't. I tried clicking
It's not
on
coming
the
up. We did not see it.
It's not. It's taking us
On
to the
YouTube?
DevOps website.
We go
to
from
the-
your. You said come from your
The
website.
website is not opening.
The video is on your website, Mr. Akin's website.
No, I've removed it. I've removed it from the website. I've linked it back to the. So people, please, people who know the website, please share with your colleagues so that they can watch the video on website.
Sir, I have a question.
I mean,
sir.
no, not
Sir,
website. Sorry,
Is the
my
video
YouTube.
on YouTube?
Yeah. Please share the YouTube link with your colleagues so they can see that.
It's
Mr.
already
Akin, I
in
have
the
a question
chat.
too, please. So,
Huh?
Mr. Akin,
The
Hold on.
YouTube is already in the chat. Someone already did it earlier.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, one question.
Please copy from chat. Yeah.
So,
Mr.
to do with
Akin.
the $100 material for the Linux class, how do you get the material after paying for the $100? After paying the $100?
Chat with me after this. It's not good to discuss money here. Let's discuss something that will benefit everybody. All right. So now you know how to set up to the servers. All right. You access to the servers.
Sir.
Please mute the video there. We still have 3 minutes.
Sir, please, my own is showing stopped instead of terminated. What could be the problem, sir?
Okay.
Stop, not terminate. They stop and terminate. It terminates.
Garbage in, garbage out. All right. No, it looks like we've exhausted the questions.
Yeah, Mr. Akin.
Amolola,
I'm trying to. Can you hear me, Mr. Akin?
Yeah.
I'm trying to log in
I'm
today
here.
with my laptop.
Did you cope? Did you cope with the later part of the class?
Yes, I did.
Please go and watch that video so that you get the fundamentals of why we are learning Linux in the place of cloud. Otherwise,
I will.
Sorry, when you say chat in order to put the YouTube videos, what chat is that? What group? There's only one group so far, which is August Linux group. Is there another group again?
there's another group for, yeah, that one. That's the group where I will share the material.
Okay, but there's nothing there so far.
That's the group.
Okay. So I'm trying to ask the question. I'm trying to log in with my laptop.
No, sorry. How do
today.
I get into the group?
How do we get into the group?
Watch the first video to know the procedure.
Hello, sir. What time zone are you in? So that we
CST,
won't... Yes.
Central Standard Time. I mean Texas.
Oh.
So when you're trying to
So it's up to you
get
to
in at
convert
6
to your own time.
o'clock, it tells you that the class is full. You can't get in even when you try to log in.
That is not correct, bros. We had that issue at the beginning. We resolved that long ago. You have to.
No, in the first class when I was trying to join.
And that was then. We resolved it. I sent letter and I sent me. I told everybody we had that issue. We resolved it. I upgraded to the new schedule that will allow up to 1,000 people now.
Okay, Mr. Aki. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm currently logged on to the console, the Linux console.
I cannot help you. I don't see what you are saying. So you cannot use words to describe to me how to help you. Take a photo of it, put it on the chat group, and then I will tell you what to do there.
Okay, sir.
You're asking for support. All right. So 5:79, 5:59. So next class will be Wednesday, same link, same time. My time is 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So convert that, put it on Google.
Wednesday or Monday?
6 p.m. Central
Wednesday or
Standard
Monday?
Time.
Is it Monday? Monday.
Mondays and Wednesdays. That's the time. That's the class.
So what's your time right now? That's 8 p.m., right?
You convert it. Wow.
What's your time? Don't say your time.
Yes, bro. It's time
The
is
time
8
now is
p.m. right
9
now.
p.m.
9 p.m.
Time
on
is
Eastern side.
Eastern time.
Texas time. This is CST.
All right. So Linux is 2 hours, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. my time. For somebody, for Eastern time, that will be 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. For Pacific time, that will be 4 p.m. to, so just convert to your own time. For Nigeria, that's 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. 12 a.m. also. Convert that to your own time so you know
2 a.m.
All right.
Okay.
So see you guys on what? On
Monday.
Monday.
On Monday? No, sorry, Monday.
Monday.
All right.
On Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Akin.
everyone. And then for those that
Thank you very
are in
much,
support group, if you have any issue, post on the group and I'll be there to support you. On the
All right.
WhatsApp.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank
bye
you,
now.
Mr. Akin.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Are you going to work this night?
Thank you.
Eh?
Thank you, sir.
Going to work this night?
Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
Well, just too much.
Sir.
God bless you, sir.
So,
Okay, now at 12. Okay, let me have it.